Uh, Hello, me again. Uh, Reality. What is real? I always question that. What is real? You know, it's like we live in a reality full of imagination. We live this reality. This we created by our thoughts. We created everything in this reality. We are manipulated to create this fucking hell that we live in. And it's us. Yeah, it's us that created this hell. You know, it's not really hard to figure that out. I see us as a collective. I see us as a whole on one planet. I look at us as a whole at one planet. Our individuality. I know, yeah, we have individuality, and who we are, which is great. I don't mind, but it's like as a collective, we're our individuality. As a collective, we're fucked up as a collective. Our individuality, you know, separates us. You know, our individuality separates everything about us. That's why we always argue with each other. That's why we always find a way on who's better than who. Our individuality, we can't even take. That's why we can't take care of each other because we're always arguing over stupid shit. You know, based on money and greed. You know, we argue about everything. We argue over little things. We argue over big things. We argue about you know do we we argue about stupid shit. We always call each other morons, idiots. We always call each other stupid. Because we always like to be better than everybody else. We're always in competition with each other and everything that we do in our lives. Competition, you know? Competition is the biggest bullshit on this fucking planet. That's why we're always against each other all the time. Every business, corporation, government, I don't care, government, business, corporation, we're all in competition. We're all believing that we have to work hard to make more. We have to work, 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 work. Yeah, and we waste our life working. We waste our life. Not enjoy. We don't even enjoy life because we work so damn hard, especially here in America. We don't enjoy life. What kind of sick fuck, you know, owner would give you a whole week off out of the whole fucking year on the first year when not no wait a minute, the first year you don't even get a week off. You have to work the full year before you get a week off for the next year. So what kind of sick fucking person that can't, it's all about work, you know? We don't know how to enjoy life on this planet. Only the people with privilege who have flex time, who has the gravy jobs, the easy jobs, but no, not us. The poor people, we have to work our asses off every fucking day, you know? It's like when you quit a job, then you got to start all over for a whole new year to get one fucking week out of the whole year vacation, paid. But we don't get that here in America. We're so damn fucking snobbish. We don't care about we don't care about people, We 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 don't know how to enjoy life. We all I see is the privileged people enjoying their lives and traveling somewhere, where they can afford to travel, and do things whatever they want to do. Like all my life, it's like I quit all these jobs, and I just had to start all over and over and over and over, to have a vacation, Yeah, it's like my job is like they just, it's funny when I was with Celadon, I drove 18 months straight, only having a weekend off, 4 days. They said they give you 4 days. The way they did 4 days is first day you drive, and then you park. That's including part of the 4 days. Then you have your weekend, your 2 days off, and then on the fourth day, they include that day, even though it's your time off, but you still got to be in your truck ready to go on that day. You know, I've done that for 18 months straight in my job. I mean, I drove 18 months through holidays and weekends. I drove 2 months out of the year, 2 months, 2 months at a time, with for a week, for one weekend a month. You talk about driving my ass off. It's for me. I used to do Canada and all that stuff. I used to take loads from Mexico to Canada. Sometimes I take loads from Canada to Canada. And I know all the fucking paperwork. I had to go through. Like loads from Mexico. You got it's a bond load. You have to break the bond in America before you can get into Canada. You know. And then if you have load that's got out of the state going to Canada, you you gotta you have to have all these certain paperwork. You have to fax paperwork to customs or to brokers to make sure they're exactly what the paperwork is. But I did that for 18 months. You know, I had 1 week vacation. 1 week vacation out of the 18 months. It's like, and then I decided, for me it was weird. After I drove 18 months nonstop, 1 weekend off for the whole month. I had 30 days paid vacation, 30 days vacation with Celadon. But how they did their thing, it didn't make it. I couldn't make any money. If I took time off, I couldn't make any money. But I found out that after working for a whole year for Celadon, I was making 29 grand for the whole year, crossing into Canada and back. I was making 20. They were paying me $20 to cross into Canada and $20 getting back in the United States. That was it, And I was on electronic logs, and where they monitor you on everything, you know. You talk about working, You talk about using you and abusing you on the 18 months of my job. I was so burnt out. My body was so heavy, and my mind. I cracked. I cried. I was so burnt out. I was so burnt out because those guys drove the shit out of me so good. You know, they drove the crap out of me. So good. You know? And all that year, I made 29 grand, you know? And only been home on I stayed out 2 months and been home one weekend out of the month, you know? Or one weekend out of 2 months. I was worn down. I was really worn down. Because, you know, talk about people who have no, I mean, I had to fight to take 30 days off, you know? They wouldn't give me 30 days off. Celadon wouldn't give, you know, I had to fight to get 28 days, but it was weird. During the first month, I was so worn down, you know? The first month, I couldn't do nothing. I was so mentally and physically burnt out, you know, on the first month. Second month, I was still I was still not recovered, you know, I was still burnt out again, you know, I was still not recovered from it, you know. It took me 3 months to get over, it took me 3 months to recover from 18 months of nonstop driving through holidays and weekends, you know, and my job. 3 months, but I was still tired too. I was still worn down, you know, because you have to deal with the traffic, you have to deal with the fucking customs, you have to deal with the fucking, you know, bonds and everything. You got to make sure everything's correct. You have to make sure you be there at a certain time, you know. That's why I hate about work, you know. Work, you know, I used to work in a warehouse. Yeah, I did that for like 2 years. You do the same shit all the time. And I was taking home, I lived in Maryland then. I was taking home about, I think it was about 200, about 200. I was making 758 an hour in Maryland, you know. You can't survive in Maryland with that kind of money. I don't know how people do that. How could you survive at 750 something an hour? That was back in like in the 80, 89, 90, you know. I don't know how you could survive at five, you know, $7, $8 an hour. Now today, doing the same shit again, I don't know how you could survive. You can't survive with at $5, $7 an hour, you know. For me, being a truck driver, you know, me being 18 months out of the time, my average was lower than McDonald's, you know. All the hours I work 70 hours a week. You know, Celadon made me drive every single hour. You know, I had to recap my hours every time I did with electronic log. So I used up all 70 hours, you know, for the 2 months. Non-stop driving. You know, some days I drive 3 hours and some days I drive 10, 11 hours. And it all adds up after a while. But I mean, you talk about how much I hate work. I hate work with a passion. I can't stand it, you know. I don't even give a damn about any kind of job, to be honest, you know. It's like these owners, you know, they abuse you. They use you until there's nothing left of you, and then they replace you, you know. Because as a truck driver, I'm replaceable, you know. There's a dime a dozen of us, and we're replaceable, you know. But now, since there's a shortage of drivers, it's the opposite. They're kissing my ass because they need more drivers to be in their seat, you know. But I'm at a point where I'm sick of people, these so-called smart people, using us and abusing us for their profit. You know, that's all I've been doing. I've been abused by a big ass company they used me really good. You know, I used to haul $1 million loads. You know, I haul $1 million loads and I only get fucking 32 cents a mile out of it. You know, and $20 across the border for $1 million load. You know, it's pretty pathetic. how we are being abused by corporations and government. You know, they abuse us. It's always something that we have that we're abusing. Being abused is like paying bills. You know, paying bills abuses the mind. You know, because if you miss a payment, then your mind's always running all the time. Think, oh, I gotta pay this bill. I gotta pay this bill. You know, it's like when you work every day to make ends meet, to pay bills. You know, it just fucking, it wears you down. It's like, I'm tired of fucking paying. You know, I'm tired of working and paying. You know, that's how I feel. It's like, it's not worth it. You know, life is not worth working and paying. You know, it's like you don't have a life. You don't have a life at all. Because all you do is think about paying and buying and paying and buying and working and paying and buying and working. It's a never-ending cycle of madness. This is hell, you know? Working, paying, buying is hell, you know? That's what we created. And I can't stand it, you know? That's how I feel about it, because I've experienced so many fucking jobs. It's pathetic at how owners are just pretty fucking cold-hearted. You know, they have no conscience. You know, like I said, they have no conscience at all about anything, about people, about employees. You know. Oh yeah, there was a news. I heard about Alabama, about the Korean Hyundai, I think. You know, they're abusing their workers. They were taking workers. I think they had like 3 people died in the car plant. You know, and they're paying them very cheap, and they weren't even experienced doing it. This is in Alabama. You know, it shows you how much compassion they make them work 12 hours a day. You know, 7 days a week. You're lucky to have 1 day off. It's like, and it shows you how people are, how people who profit of people. You know, people who profit off of people's labor. You know, it shows you how they have no remorse, no love, no compassion. You know, it's pure. This world is pure negative. I mean, it's so negative. It's pathetic. It's like, you know, work, pay, buy. That's negative. That's all it is. It's pure negative. You know, without compassion. All you care about is profit. When you profit, you're negative, because you're feeding off people's fear. When you profit, you're abusing they're abusing their skills. You know, and you're making people live be miserable, because it depends on what the pay is. You know, so that's the way I see it. You know, my experience in my own life. You know, have a nice day.